All right. Let's get this going. This is a custom order for a new friend. Hold on. This is a sweet 1 ounce piece of 8, son of Ian or Ian. It's hard to capture that bad boy. Let's see if I can focus in on that guy. There we go. And this thing is sweet. It's gonna be a size 11 coin ring. And I hate to do this. It's just such a beautiful coin. I'm gonna finger it. Normally you don't want to do that to a coin, but I'm gonna be touching it anyways. Alright guys, let's have some fun. Hey Mike, if you're here, hey little piece. If you're here Mike, give me a little little hello in chat. If you're I'm pretty sure you're familiar with YouTube. You got a channel coming or out. So this is just one of a few pieces I'm making for Mike. And Mike is with Touch of Silver. And he may be interviewing me soon. So let's do this. First I want to see what size hole we're going to punch out of this. And this is pretty important with a coin like this because there's either detail we want to save on the inside or there's detail we want to get rid of. And I'm definitely wanting to save the date 2015. And most of the skull, so I'm just going to go with the smallest size punch so we could do a little stretching along the way, a little bit of everything for this coin ring. I'll go through and explain what I'm doing on this piece. I have a lot of pieces that are out that I've done explanations on how to do the coin rings, so there's other videos, but I have some new followers and I want Mike to see this whole process explained as well. So let me see if he is here. What's up, Anita? Amy? Thanks for coming. Mike, if you're here, just give me a little comment in the chat. But yeah, I got lucky yesterday and my roommate hit me up in the morning and was like, hey man, he follows Reddit and I don't follow Reddit. And he said someone commented in the top post, in the top Reddit post of the day, and mentioned my website, and it had a bunch of traction. So I checked it out, and apparently it brought like 30,000 people to my website, and didn't bring many here because I don't know how to use Reddit, but pretty cool. What's up, Amy? Anita. I'm just giving this a second for Mike to show up if he's able to. I let him know we were going live, and he subscribed, so he may be close. There's 5 watchers and like 4 of you are commenting right now, so he might be here. But anyways, let's go ahead and figure out how we're going to center this guy. This is going to be a really cool ring. Any kind of coin with an outside design that goes around like that pretty much makes a sweet ring, and both sides have that with the compass and the numbers and whatnot, because this will be the outside of the ring soon. So very cool. Let's see if we have a centering ring for this guy. We don't. Oh, and I saw Sir Mix-a-Lot last night. That was sweet. Seen him like 5 times now, I think. 4 or 5. So I'm gonna have to eyeball this guy, because I don't have a ring that fits around this coin perfectly, because it's in between a silver eagle and a silver dollar size. It's real important to get that center punch pretty much dead on. I think I might need glasses too. It's important to get the shadow out of the way as well, so you don't get weird reflections. I'm going to treat this like a grenade so it doesn't move at all. This first part can be loud, so if you have headphones on, you may want to turn them down. Hey Mike, if you're here, just give me a quick comment so I can just know you're here. Alright, let's pop this out. So that's our tiny little center. There's the eyes and nose. Kind of a cool little centerpiece. And I'm keeping that. Mike wanted me to keep that so he could, oh, he's watching, sweet. Cool, he just messaged me, no worries. I'm gonna speed this up now and do this normal. Sorry guys, I'm mumbling. So there's our centerpiece. I'll keep that for you, bud. Where should I set that? So there's our center punch. I need to use this to pop it out. Hopefully my phone will stay in place. Let me move it back just so I don't knock it down. So we're going to be able to save the date, save all the detail. We lost pretty much as little as we could. If I lost any more, I mean, if we would have made a smaller punch, this would have just been way too fat of a ring. Because this is basically going to be the diameter of the ring, which is still pretty big. This will be a pretty big ring when we're done. So I need to sand this hole out. I've had people ask why I don't deburr this hole out, which is what I do, which is one of my finishing tools. And the reason is, as you're deburring, sometimes this thing will skip, or when you end, it doesn't leave a clean end to it, where if I sand it, it's very smooth. There's no nicks, because this part's going to be stretched the most. So I want to keep it as smooth as possible. this is a really high grit sandpaper, and it's still a little rough, so I'm just going to hit it with some metal here. Kind of make it even softer. Just can't find one problem is I can't find sanding wheels for the smaller ones that are as soft as the bigger ones. I can't fit the bigger ones in that hole, so I have to take an extra step and just hit it with some sandpaper as well, just to get, there's little like hairline. Let's see if we can capture this somehow. Like, it's just not perfect in there yet. We want it to be super, super smooth. Thanks, Anita. Coin rings are very cool. There's a lot of people that make them. Just like a lot of people haven't really heard of like hobo nickels, where people take like old nickels and carve them and turn them into different things. Like, they started off mostly being hobos, and now people are doing some of the most amazing work that you could ever imagine. I have a really good friend, well, he's not a really good friend, but he's somebody I know well. His name's Roman, and he's out of Russia. And he does these, just look up Roman Booteen, ROMANBOOTEEN, or just one E maybe. He deserves a shout out for sure. And actually, one of his best pieces he asked me to be part of, and long story short, I didn't know how to do what he wanted me to do, and it was very difficult for me at the time, so I turned it down and passed it off to another friend. And that's how I learned how to do coin jars. Was trying to figure out, he did a piece that, which one was it? It was the jaw one. He did one with these gold teeth that surrounded a gold coin, and it had a domed coin on the back. And he wanted me to do the domed coin on the back, which is not not a highlight of his art. It's the back piece, but it holds the front, which would have been cool to be part of. But that drove me to figure out how to do that. And now I'm able to make the coin jars, which are pretty popular. So I'm just still sanding this inside, guys. Sorry it's taken so long. I just don't want there to be any imperfections. Although it is pure silver, so it generally, you don't generally get any splits or cracks or anything like that. But you just want that inside to be as smooth as possible. And that's where we're at. You can see now it's very smooth. Roman Booteen, Booteen, or E-N. I'll show you really quick because he deserves a shout out. He doesn't need it because his stuff sells itself, but I can show you what I'm talking about. So this is like the new style hobo nickel stuff. Like very intricate, like these wings move. Absolutely amazing work. He started doing Zippo lighters, and the one he wanted me to be part of was this one here, which is one of his more popular pieces. The jaws lock. If you touch the coin, the jaws lock on you. But that's a silver dollar. That's basically just this coin that he carved amazingly with the back of it. It's just a simple domed coin. There's like just like that. Sorry, the reflection sucks. But yeah. Oh shit, there's a lot of comments. I just got stuck. Alright, that's good. You guys can check them out. But there's a lot of amazing hobo nickel artists out there. Like, just crazy. Just crazy. He's just one of them. Just like I'm just one coin ring guy. Alright, we're ready to go. We're going to take this to the heat now. Make this awesome. I'm only going to go to the heat once on camera, guys, just because I don't want to be moving the camera too much. If you've seen me just do the sterling or the 90% silver like Morgan's and stuff, if you remember, the coloring of the coin would turn like darks, blacks and browns and whatnot. When you're dealing with pure silver, it isn't affected by the elements. It's affected by fingerprints and oils and things like that, and like the environment. But as far as heat, it isn't affected at all. So like it's still a pretty nice looking coin. It lost a little bit of its luster, but still silver, not black or anything like that. What's up, Nikki? Thanks for coming. Little piece. Ron, Amy, Anita, thanks for coming, guys. Mike, I think he's watching. Alright guys, so we're gonna have the skull out. So we're gonna fold this tail side up. I don't know if it'll fit into our stabilizing die properly, but we'll start with that. Yeah, there's no need to do that. It's pretty much the same thing. And I have to start with a smaller cone because we started with a smaller hole. Straight and good. So that's the first little fold, and it's stuck in there right now. So I'll just go a little further with it. That lead is just jammed right now. Once it folds a little further, it'll pop, or I might have to just pop it out. Yeah, we're gonna have to pop it out. Alright, so that's where we're at right now. I'm going to take it back to the heat real quick. It's going to be a thick boy. This is probably one of the coolest coins that I've been able to ring as far as design goes. It's not every day you get like a coin that's the perfect design to be ringed, and this is definitely one of them. It's been ringed quite a bit by people. I mean, you can see what's going to be happening here with the detail. It's going to be all around the edge. It's horrible lighting, but it's going to be very cool. Just moving up in cone sizes. Until one of them sucks up to the coin. Super close, but you can see how much I have very little room left to work with before it actually pops out the bottom. But I need to go to a different one. Come on, baby. Pop this out, but I don't want to hit the metal too hard, you know. Come on, baby. Alright. So this is where we're at right now. This is our cut side, reeded side. You miss the groovy 70s? I was born in the 70s, so I don't know much about it. That's pretty much as far as we can go. I could push a little further. There's just a little tiny gap there, but we're moving to the ring stretcher next anyways. So it'll stretch all that out. So let me clean this up. Get it organized. And I'm gonna go to the heat, and then we're gonna hit this stretcher up. Alright, my arm may be in the way. I can't move to this table because this is the one that shakes and it'll just fall off my camera. But once I get down here, we'll be able to see what's going on. If you're unaware of how a stretcher works, it has two functions. One is a plunger down below, which you can use for smaller rings for shaping and finishing, and then it has this part which is for stretching, and as you push it back there's a part basically like this that moves up and down, which stretches the splines out, which stretches the metal out. It's pretty cool. And I have a few different stretchers. I prefer this one. This is actually the cheaper one. This is like, you get one of these for like 110 off eBay, and you can get one of these for like 850 off eBay. And this one makes better rings. This one has a better base though. This one I don't use. I use this base over here because it's machined properly. This one has basically crappy lines in it. So we're just going to take our time, not stretching too hard. crack it or split it. You want to heat often. And I'm using this blue shop towel to protect the inside detail. And I'm going to go back to the heat. Sorry guys, I'm not seeing chat at all. We will be giving this a patina right afterwards, so we should be able to capture all the good detail of this when we're done. Unlike those super shiny coin rings, they just got such bad reflection off all the lighting. It's impossible to capture those shiny ones. This one should be sweet. What we're basically doing is just slowly stretching this part to try to equal this part here. Back to the heat. Keep this thing nice and warm. Metal will be softer and easier to manipulate and stretch. So right now, it's sitting at about 14 and we're going for an 11. So the reason I overly stretch, it's hard to explain, but you pretty much want to go several sizes over your target size before you reduce the sides down to the size that you actually want. And try to explain it. It's kind of hard to. I'm not good at explaining this process. I'm good at showing it. So we're now going to go to the Swedish die, which is what these guys are. And they have a lesser degree angle to them than the finishing ones I use. I believe this is about, well, these are, I believe 18. So I believe this is like 14 or 11 degree. Now we're gonna put the coin ring in like so. And what that's gonna do is reduce the reeded side to be closer, because you see how much of a difference there is inside there. We're gonna shrink basically this side down to where it's closer to where this side is. Did I already heat this? I did. Okay. Alright, let's do the wrap attempt on the table, which I'm horrible at. I'm going to wrap it in Teflon tape. Protect the metal on metal contact on the outside now. You want to keep all this detail intact, both inside and outside. Now on the inside, the only part that's had any metal on metal contact at all is none of this here. It's just this little part that we stretched. And at the end, I end up sanding, I round this off anyways. So that little part that was hit, you wouldn't even know anyways, because I end up sanding it later. So there's no detail lost in any of the coin rings I make as far as from metal on metal contact. The only loss is the part I punch out and the part I sand at the end, and then the little reed that's left at the end as well. Now I'm going to wrap this several times to give it real good protection. You want this bad boy to be safe. Silver, pure silver is super, 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 super soft. So even a ding, like if this was hit with like this on the edge, it would maybe leave a gash, where on 90% it wouldn't probably do anything at all. Alright, so we're protected, we're in here. Let's check out how we're going here. Good, we look good, look good. Now I'm going to use a series of push rods that are all different sizes. They taper down slowly to push this down. And we are going to use my mascara makeup pads. Just kidding, I don't wear mascara. People think I wear eye makeup, but I don't. I just got sexy eyelashes. Dark. That's all. Alright. This will protect the reed. And it also centers my rod. If I don't use that tape, it could be a little off one side or the other, which can really mess up your reed. Oil that down. So we're going to go all the way through this rod, through this die, meaning I'm going to push till we're at the bottom. And I just switched out my push rod to one size smaller so I can continue. That's as far as this one will go. We're basically at the bottom. And here, see our reed. It's beautiful. And we're starting to flatten this out, straighten this out. We're still cone shaped, but can't avoid that. Check for some metal shavings coming up that could be pressed in later that are bad. We're good. I haven't done one of these, so there's always little surprises. But my goal, you can kind of see, let's see if it'll focus. You can see at the very top, you can start seeing some of the, like I see east, 15 or 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So I'm starting to see some detail come through, which is good. Once I see it all the way through, I know that we're straight, which is my first step. And at the same time, we won't be reducing the size because we haven't pressed that part down. So we're still sitting at that size 14 that we were started with. And even halfway through this next die will still be really close to that size. So now I'm just switching to a different Swedish die where the coin sits higher to the top. And switching out my push rod. So this is where you want to just start checking regularly to see where you're at. Now you can see, we can see more of the detail coming through. Oh crap, low battery, that's not good. If I lose you guys, please hold. We're plugged in, but I don't know if that means anything. My battery goes literally from 5 to 0 like that. So if I lose you guys, I'll be able to get back on. I won't go any further, but thanks, Nikki. So we are super close. I don't know what the heck that weird thing is right there. Let's take this off and take a look at where we're at. It's easier to see when the tape's off. Probably should heat this guy up anyways. Okay, now I can definitely tell that there's a little slope going on, so I need to keep hitting it with the Swedish. But we can see what kind of detail is going to be coming through this guy, and it's going to be pretty sweet, especially once we tone it. It'll be a big boy. Be big, dude. Hopefully you got big hands. And still, we're sitting at that. We shrunk it just a tad bit, and we're going to probably shrink it down about another half size in this press, but we're still good. So I'm going to take this to the heat again real quick. Mike is also getting this very sweet coin made into an arrowhead. And we're going to do him a Morgan dollar coin jar, which you guys will not get to see how that one's made, but we might do the arrowhead. So I'm going to wrap this back up again. I'm getting pretty good at doing this on the table now. I think I figured it out. I got to hold it up high. And I don't have very far to go before we're where we want to be on this process. Go down to the last die here, or push rod I mean. My terminology sucks. And I just want to kind of give it a little bit. There we go. So now all that detail pops through, which tells me that now it's straight. We are flat, and you can tell by looking at that bad boy we're good. What's up, Terry? Welcome. Mike, if you're wondering who all these crazy people are, they're from the Scam Baiting family. On my other channel, Luke's Scam Bait channel, where we call scammers waste their time so they can't scam others. Oh, this is interesting. This is really interesting. So, is this a limited edition coin, Mike? Because there's a number 182 on the reed that I never noticed. That's an odd read. I never noticed that. That is crazy as shit. That is cool. I can't see it in the light because the lighting's too bright in here, but once we tone this, that'll show up. That is cool as shit. This is a limited edition coin. Man, you're crazy. I hope I don't fuck this up. No, I'm not gonna fuck it up. We're good. So yeah, now we're just going to use my regular dies to finish this up. See where it kind of sits here on the smaller side, where this gap is? Looks like about half to a little over ½ inch. We're going to press this other side down to where that's equal so that we can see where we stand when at least the outside shaping is proper. And then we can go from there. That was about right there where that gap was. So that made this side and this side pretty close to equal. There's some metal shavings coming off, which we definitely want to take care of, because if that gets pressed into our reed or into the side, it'll destroy it. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate that. Appreciate everybody checking this out, joining. I know my channel is very new. I don't have many subscribers, but my goal now is to work on this channel, doing more live, doing more videos, getting it up to where it should be. And Mike may help with that. He's talking about coming by and doing a little interview and video for his channel. So right here, there's something odd going on. Alright, so this is where we're at right now. Let's check our sizing on the smaller side. We're going for an 11 and we're sitting at a 10 right now. And on the inside here, this reed, there's a ton of extra metal. Basically all this. There's probably at least a size and a half worth that I need to take off. So I'm going to heat this up real quick. We're going to press this side down about another half size, and then we're going to equal this side to where this side's at, making both sides dead on to where the outside shaping is done. And that'll round this off and fix our shaping too. So let me hit the heat. See something up quick here. Do it. Alright, let's wrap this guy back up. We are pretty close to done on this guy. So again, we're going to hit the reeded side just about a half size. What's up, Q? Welcome. And that should be about that half size. Let's see, we press this down. I'm going to hit the other side. Once we take this off, it should look like a ring. So we've got the ring shape. And right now it looks a little off because this is super shiny, but in a few minutes we'll fix all that. So, gotta turn this phone around, but it's plugged in. Let's see if we can do this here. So we're going to the deburring tool, and we're going to take about a size and a half to 2 sizes off of this inside lip. Otherwise it would just be held on by that lip, and that would be an uncomfortable ring. Plus we need to get that size and a half that we need. It's crazy how there's a serial number in there that I didn't see when I started this. So I'm guessing it's probably a $100 coin. And we're just taking off some of that excess silver that we don't need. I'm not going to hit that serial number at all. I'm not hitting the inside detail, just hitting that excess silver. Now we're about half the size away. There's still a little lip in there. Don't give me no lip. It's so crazy. You guys and your rare coins having me ring them. I mean, this isn't terribly rare, but most silver collectors would be like, what the hell are you doing? It's like, hey man, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, man. Whoop. Oh, look at that. It's sitting at 11. Alright. It's like I know what I'm doing or something there. It's crazy. Alright. Let's do this. I don't know what we're going to do here. Let's just face it right at me. Let's look at me. So now I'm going to sand that part I just deburred and then hit that squared off cut side. Again, not hitting any of the inside detail of the ring because we want to keep every single little thing. I'm going to press this side down just a tad bit more real quick. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Trying to fix that shape a little bit. hit it with a little sandpaper to make that even softer. Steel wool, just to kind of get my fingerprints off it more than anything, because we're going to give it a patina. Good song. Where the heck did my tablet go? Buy some more steel wool. All right, this is where we are, but let's just give it a good patina first and then we'll show it off. All right, I'm going to use liver of sulfur. Little tiny bit in there. Ain't a better feeling. That shit can make it legendary. And some hot water. Put a little bit more sulfur in there. Potty all the time. I want this thing to turn dark. This thing needs to have that, like, I came from a pirate ship look. Alright, let's move the camera. Let's see what you guys are chatting about here. I make stinky water. Super stinky. What's up, guys? I'm out of chat, sorry. Okay, so we have this sulfuric nastiness. We have this beautiful silver thing. And then when we drop it in there, it's going to turn dark before your eyes. DAC. Yeah, it's like rotten eggs. It's not too bad. I have sulfuric acid, and that's worse. That stuff will kill you. Like, that stuff gets you, like, lightheaded and shit. This is nothing. I don't think this can get you sick unless you drink it. I haven't tried that. So, yeah, I got dark. Got dark. I want it darker. Sulfuric acid, yeah, this stuff doesn't though. So then I just dip it in some baking soda water, and that deneutralizes or neutral. It stops the stuff from working. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. And I'm gonna put you guys back on the camera thingy. Let's go back home. Go back to your home. Okay, how am I gonna do this? Stupid phone can't keep a charge for over like 30 minutes. It's so ridiculous. Alright, I think we're still plugged in. I think you guys can see me. So now we are dark. Let me put this over here and cover it up. Alright. This is it. Very nice. I like. Very nice. I like it a lot. Serial number. That's crazy. Serial numbered coin. I mean, there's other serial numbered coins out there, but this is like a legit one from like a legit minting company. So that's pretty cool. That means there probably isn't a lot of these that have been made into rings, because people collect these kinds of coins. And people, when they tend to collect these kinds of coins, they have collector value, which means they don't want to lose that value by punching a hole in it and whatnot. This fucker's beautiful. You guys want to see it? Piece of 8, a little piece of 8. Son of Iron, 1 ounce, 999 fine. Let's see if we can get the serial number on here. Right up top there, it's etched into the metal. It might be hard to see. See if it'll look at it. Anyway, the number 182 is super tiny right there, and there's no read from there to there, and the rest is readed, so it's pretty cool. Oh, there we go. Kind of see it. It's a tiny, tiny number. And then the inside detail. There's our inside action. There's our cut side. Sorry it keeps focusing, guys. I apologize. Cut side we rounded off. Inside detail. So yeah, it's a nice looking ring. I'll be posting pics on all my social media: Luke's Coin Art, Instagram, Facebook. There'll be some sweet pics of this guy. Might have to find some Indian treasure laying around, or I mean, Indian treasure. Some pirate treasure laying around the house. Take some good pics of this guy. Anyways, that is this piece of art for right now. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It's a beautiful park. Alright. Appreciate you guys. Thanks Spezzy, thanks Terry, Amy, Little Peace, and Nita. Nikki. Mike, of course. I think that is the crew. I thought there was somebody else in here at the beginning, but they might have left. Amy Hogan was here. Skeleton Q. Cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. LeBron James, baby. 5 o'clock. Later.